All right, that was the son of Umesh Kohle. Very tragic to imagine what the family is currently going through. This is a CCTV footage exclusive that India Today has accessed from right opposite the crime spot. A school CCTV camera has captured this murder where two men have managed to intercept Umesh Kohle while he was on his way home. They've slit his throat. He falls to his feet and dies. In fact, two men carried out the murder. One person was seen keeping a watch. There you have more visuals coming in, more exclusive footage right here on India Today showing you how this gruesome murder was carried out on the 21st of June. This is the latest visual coming to fore. In fact, these visuals there showing the bike moving. In fact, we're trying to establish what exactly this visual really holds. But from the look of it, we believe that there are two bikes, and it appears one is that of Umesh Kohle. And the murderers also seem to be moving on that bike before he was attacked. In fact, what we know is that these murderers have been on the lookout for Umesh Kohle for at least 3-4 days before they actually hacked him to death. They were trying to trail him 3 days prior to the murder, but Umesh Kohle at that point had taken an alternative route. He was saved on that day, but unfortunately 3 days later he was caught by the same men who were paid 10,000 rupees and given a bike to carry out this murder. So is it really all about religion alone? These men carrying out murders for a quick buck? Who is the force behind it? Who are the men conspiring in the name of religion? Of course, these CCTV camera footage, both of them on the right-hand side of your screens, very clearly shows how two men stopped Umesh Kohle right on his way back home. He was, in fact, Umesh Kohle was also trailed by his own son and daughter-in-law, but unfortunately, they were not able to stop that murder as it took place. Initially, it was assumed to be a case of dacoity or theft, but later, after much probing, the police, in fact, after keeping this on the sidelines, the real issue of the murder finally came out with the actual revelation that this was a murder carried out because Umesh Kohle had supported Nupur Sharma's comments that she made on Prophet Muhammad. This was in fact certainly a communal killing, and that was withheld, that piece of information was withheld by the police in Amravati, and the Amravati police have been trying to justify saying that this was sensitive information and they did not want to create communal tensions or commotion, therefore they withheld that piece of information. But nonetheless, had they brought this to fore much earlier, possibly the killing in Udaipur, Kanhaiya Lal could have been saved. That's precisely how one can look at it at this point, looking at the way this gruesome murder has taken place. The man slit, in fact, the murderer slit the chemist's throat, very quickly murdered him. In basically seconds, they slit his throat and rushed out on their bike. They did not say anything. They did not communicate with Umesh Kohle as per the investigation. They've just done their job in minutes and fled from the spot. Right behind Umesh Kohle was his son and his wife, his daughter, Umesh Kohle's daughter-in-law and son. Both of them were on another bike. They unfortunately were left helpless. They did not expect what was coming. Umesh Kohle was the one who was apparently the target. Clearly, only he was killed while these men fled in minutes. Let me cut across to Pankaj, joining us live for more on that. Pankaj, Munish joining us. Munish Pandey, who's currently in Amravati tracking all those developments, along with the NIA investigation. Munish, these CCTV camera footage, very evident on how this murder has taken place. With quick succession, the bike was stopped. They've slit his throat. Umesh seen there falling to the ground, and these men have fled. Very quickly, a third man is also seen keeping a close watch at this happening, this entire crime scene unfolding. Take us through how this CCTV footage, both of them on the left and right of our screens, would really help the NIA to further establish the larger conspiracy or the larger force behind this murder.
Well, Nabila, these are extremely important evidence as far as this entire investigation is concerned. Now, what we have been given to understand is that one of the CCTV footage is of the crime spot where Umesh Kohle was killed. Now, as far as the three people are concerned, one person who can be seen taking a U-turn on the bike, that person is Shamim. He was the one who was riding the bike. On that bike there were two other people. One was Shoaib, the third person was Atik. Now Shoaib was the person who was having a knife. It was 12 to 14 inches long Chinese knife. He was waiting for Umesh Kohle to arrive, and the moment he arrived, he and Atik, Shoaib and Atik were the one who attacked Umesh Kohle. The attack was made near his neck, and it was only one attack, but in that attack the nerves of Umesh Kohle got damaged, especially the one which supplies oxygen to your body, and the second one was of the brain. So immediately he died. In the CCTV footage, it is very clear that Shoaib is attacking Umesh Kohle, and the moment he is attacked, he was attacked at the very same point. We can see Umesh Kohle going down on neck. Now apart from that, there is another CCTV footage, and why this CCTV footage is important, because that CCTV is particularly outside of the chemist shop of Umesh Kohle. There were three people waiting for Umesh Kohle, because the plan was to kill Umesh Kohle on June 20th, but on that day he took a different route. So three people were waiting for Umesh Kohle to leave from his chemist shop. The three people were Mudassar, Shahrukh, and the third person was associate of these people. So the third person made a call to Shoaib, who was waiting at the crime spot. Shahrukh made a call around 10 o'clock that Umesh Kohle has left. It was barely 100 meters. Umesh Kohle was on a scooty, and while he was on his way, he was killed immediately. So these are extremely important CCTV footage which are going to be extremely important for the investigation. Right now, Nabila, I would also like to show you the visuals of the city police station where the NIA officials are with all the accused in the case. Now these accused are not only being interrogated, but also their statements are being recorded. We have been given to understand is that these accused will be taken to the crime scene so that they can recreate the crime scene and get an exact sequence of what happened on June 21st around 10 p.m. when Umesh Kohle was killed. So, NIA has taken over the case. All the accused are in custody of NIA at this point of time, and it is going to be certainly important for the NIA to crack this case, because the Amravati police has come out open now saying that this happened because of a post which was supported by Umesh Kohle. It was in support of Nupur Sharma, and that is why 6 people including Irfan hatched the plan to kill Umesh Kohle, and he was killed. There is another person, Shamim, who was riding the bike, who can be seen in CCTV footage. That person is still absconding, and has filed anticipatory bail application before the court. But certainly 7 accused have been arrested in this case.